to my computer. All right.
Oh,
We're fucking rocking and rolling, man. Another duo podcast. I can't believe the other guys bailed on us once again.
well, we did promise everybody 3 episodes of us, and we only came through on 2 of the 3 for the draft. So we'll just call this one the third one.
I suppose. Might as well, right?
Shit happens. Went over to my parents' house on Saturday night because it's my mom's birthday yesterday. So Alyssa and I brought them dinner on Saturday night.
Oh, okay.
And that was the whole time I'm over there. My mom's like, "When do you have to go? Because you're supposed to be recording the episode." And I was like, I'm not like too worried about it. I'll get home whenever I get home. And then right as we were like kind of thinking to leave to get home to do it, you texted me and like, "Yeah, I'm out tonight, man." I was like, "Sweet, we'll just hang out then."
Yeah, we obviously busy the 2 nights before, so we got home late and everything. It was just nice to sit down, watch some TV after the draft was over, and kick back and relax a little bit.
Yeah, I think moving forward, there's no reason, honestly, to do a third day. There's really not much of a reason to even do one after the second day.
Not too much. I mean, all you talk about is the highlights, right? And the Vikings had a lot. Well, they had a hell of a third day. I will give them that. So it would have been fun to talk about that, but we'll save it for our next podcast when we have a couple more of us on here.
Yeah, as far as what I've been up to, yesterday actually, you and I were texting and we were talking about, I think it was end of week last week. We were talking about a few video games that would be fun to play right now, being we're all stuck at home. And a couple that I floated by you was 7 Days to Die, which is a super fun kind of sandbox zombie game. I haven't played that game in a long time, but it's super fun. And then we started talking about Stardew Valley, so I actually downloaded that. I re-downloaded that back on my Switch yesterday and started playing it again. That game is so fun, man.
I watched a little bit of highlights of it. It looks like a mixture of like the Forest where you have to build things up, but then also, I don't know if you ever played Heyday, but it's kind of like a Clash of Clans, but farm style.
Yes, I have actually played that. Yeah,
So
that's actually, yep.
It looks like a ton of fun. Just building up your farm. And you said that you can farm next to other people and shit too.
Yep. So they introduced, actually, I haven't played it since they put it in, but they put it in multiplayer mode. So you could actually, I think, one of the maps, they have different maps you can choose from. They have the original and then they made a bunch of other ones. One of them is kind of heavy on like fishing and stuff. So you don't have to focus on farming as much. It's more water and like you can fish and catch fish and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And then one is more of forest based where you got to like clear trees out, collect the wood. You can build stuff with that. And then one is night mode. So like monsters come out at night that you have to be weary of and you either got to fight them or hide from them. And then the last one is they introduced a map that's kind of like a 4-quadrant map, and there's 4 different like biomes in it, and that's a really good multiplayer one. So you could have 4 friends on your map, and you could all farm your own area.
And so is that? I think I saw like an igloo in snow area on one of them. Is that what you mean by the different biomes?
I'm not exactly sure because I haven't played it, but I do know in the game itself it has seasons. The game has seasons, so you start out in spring, and then it goes spring into summer, fall, winter. And I haven't actually gotten to winter myself on the game yet, but from the way I understand it is in winter you either have to have like a greenhouse built or you don't have that many options for crops. So winter's more for like building relationships with the town folk and stuff like that. It's a simple game, but yet effective enough to where it really keeps your attention.
So when winter comes, do you have like a stockpile of food? I mean, can you save it in like a freezer or how do you hold on to that so your guys and people don't go hungry during the winter months?
So with that game, more so, you're not as worried about getting your guy food. Like food's not an issue. More so it's building up your farm and your reputation. So assuming you get to winter and you have like livestock and stuff, you still tend to your livestock, make sure that they're fed. You can actually you can craft refrigerators and stuff to keep food in. You can make jams and stuff that stay longer. You can make a bunch of stuff that will get you through winter, but it's not as much like a survival game for your guy as it is just building up your farm and making money. It's really the ultimate money-making game.
So that's exactly what Heyday was like then, because you started out with a small farm, and then as you leveled up, you got more opportunities to build things. The only thing that sucked about it is similar to Clash of Clans is after you started building like a granary, which may only take an hour for you to build, then the next one takes like 3 hours to build. And then eventually it can take like 4 days to build. Or for like you'd plant all sorts of different seeds, pumpkins, carrots, potatoes, things like that. But then you could also do trees and bushes like cherry trees, blackberry bushes, apple trees, things like that. And those all took like 18 hours to build. And by the time you actually got up to like level, I don't know, 60, 70, 80, you're waiting so freaking long to do anything. It kind of gets you out of the game a little bit because it just takes forever and you don't really want to sit there. And you went on every day to pretty much just collect things and make sure you didn't get behind. You weren't actually playing anymore.
Yeah, it's like any of those mobile games. It's at some point they want you to pay money to play it. And I super liked Heyday up until it got to that super grindy point.
Yeah. And then they get too much shit into it. You know, they had the town you could go to, hop on the train and go to another city, and then you could fulfill orders over there. You could fulfill your boat orders, your truck orders, and then you could actually get on like a little side boat and go fishing and do stuff. So, I mean, there was just so much you could do, and you kind of got lost in it. It's like, what's the right step to build your shit up?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if you've played Heyday and never played Stardew Valley, I would say it's a pretty fair comp to compare them. Heyday is fun because like they have a cave system, so you can go into the caves and you can mine minerals and stuff, and you can use those to upgrade your farm and upgrade your your weapons. You fight like monsters and cave like bats and worms.
That's
and
in
crap
Stardew,
down in the
right?
caves. In Stardew, yeah.
Okay.
And then they also have like fishing, so you can go in and actually set like crab traps and catch fish, or go fish yourself. So, I mean, they have a few other things, but it's a fair fair comparison to make.
Yeah, I was looking at other first like survival games. And have you ever played Stranded Deep?
No, I have not.
That one looks like fun. It's similar to The Forest in a sense where I think you're on a boat wreck and you get shipped out, you know, you get stuck on an island and you have to fish and forage and search for things. I don't know if there's any type of illness on the island or anything that's trying to attack you, any cannibals or zombies or anything like that, but it does look like fun. I watched a little bit of the gameplay of it and it's very similar. It's that first person like real looking characters type deal. And I think that might be the next game I give a shot.
Oh, I'm looking at this game right now, and actually, it looks pretty sweet. It doesn't appear as though it has any like enemies, like people enemies, but there is monsters and stuff that you got to look out for. And like if you go into the water, you got to be careful of poisonous things in the water.
Sharks.
So yep. So there's some sort of at least enemies, I guess. It's not people or zombies, but there's stuff. And then of course, like most of those survival games, there's going to be a steep learning curve. You're going to spend a lot of hours right away just learning how the game works, and you probably die a lot. But that's what makes them fun.
Yeah, and I'm sure on this one too, you have to have food and water and find things to, you know, craft items and things like that. And like on the Forest, when you've played it, you know, this is your second go through, you know how everything works. You may learn jumping and picking up and things like that. It may take a minute to relearn those controls. But once you get, you know, rocking and rolling, it's super freaking easy. And so the Stranded Deep, I think I'm going to give this one a shot as long as it's reasonably priced.
Damn, dude, this game freaking has a 95% of Google users like it. It gets a 7 out of 10 on Steam.
It's pretty solid.
Yeah, if that'd be like a $30 game, I'd for sure buy it. It looks fun.
Let's see what buy now brings me to.
But it looks like it's $15 on Steam, so it can't be that expensive on PlayStation. Maybe 25. Steam's usually running deals.
Okay.
But yeah, so I was playing that yesterday, and
you played Madden, right? And you downloaded a new roster.
Yep. I actually busted through a whole fucking season of that yesterday.
Oh shit!
I didn't play every
all
game.
Day.
I actually started it on Saturday.
Okay.
Or wait. No, I didn't start it Saturday because we got home from my parents Saturday night at like 10:30, 11, and I was going to download the updated rosters, but there wasn't one that had the third day draft picks on there yet. So gotcha. I waited, checked yesterday morning. I got up pretty early. I was up at like 6:30, and then downloaded that and started playing it. And I ended up playing 8 games. I played 8 of this games throughout the season. So like 6 during the season, and then I played the 2 playoff games, and I lost the second playoff game to the Bears. The Bears are so hard on that game to beat. when you're playing on all Madden. Their front seven just destroyed
Their
me.
defense is so good. So good.
And for some reason, Trash Bisky's pretty good on it.
Yeah, it's amazing how Madden can fuck those things up. He's good on there, trash in life. Some players in life are actually really good and they don't update them. You know, like when Cousins was on his tear, he's not even near Trubisky's level, even though he's playing better than him, which is just dumb.
Yeah.
There's so many different rosters to download. Which one did you pick?
So go to, if you're on there right now, there will be a date added or date modified. Go and sort by that and make it the newest. And I think the roster I downloaded was called ESPN or something like that.
Okay.
It didn't have a lot of downloads, but it was pretty damn accurate.
Okay, by date added. Okay, so 427. Let's see. We have a bunch of H-Towns. Say so, 2020 draft, 2020 free agency. I don't see an ESPN one on here. ESPN roster. That's what it must have been.
Yeah, try that one. I think that was the one. And I could actually
28 downloads. It was updated today.
And it probably was. It's possible that he might have added a few more players. Like the Vikings they didn't have their undrafted players on it, but they had all 7 rounds of draft picks. I'll look really quick and see.
Because this other one I'm looking at has only 3 rounds of draft picks, and I wouldn't want to do that.
But dude, it's accurate. The only beef I have with it is some of the rookies are only normal development. Like Justin Jefferson's only a normal.
And do they have other players? Are all the rookies just normal? Did you check?
No.
To a normal Herbert? Or...
That Dye, he's a star.
Oh, is he really? Troy.
So there's a couple diamonds in the rye.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm gonna download a roster here and do it. I don't know if this one's the right one.
It might not be. I'm looking right now to see which one I downloaded.
This is part of one of the best things Madden can do is allow people to make rosters like this. So after the season's over and you don't really have anything to play for, you can keep running through the regular season, but it's not nearly as fun when you've been playing since August. So it's nice to be able to add the free agency in there, add the rookies in there, and just be able to kind of, rock and roll with a roster you're expecting for next year.
Oh, for sure. It's because it makes it like a whole nother game.
Yeah. It's starting fresh. And then you get that whole new experience again once Madden does their official rating, on all these players.
Try the one. Oh, yeah, that's not the one. That was the bad one. Try the one that's called Updated, and it was created by Ev_Newman29.
Updated. What day was that updated on?
Should have been updated yesterday.
It's just called Updated.
Yeah.
I don't even have it on here.
I'm looking. If I have to, I can upload it to the thing and just call it like BudHole, and you'd be able to find it.
You should do that because I do not see it on here. I mean, I could just do another one. Some of them have just the first 3 rounds, but I don't like that. That's dumb.
No, dude. I would upload it. Go to search. Hit triangle and go search.
Search by keyword.
And just type in updated.
Have you been playing any other games?
I picked up Assassin's Creed Odyssey again last week because I was looking for a game to kind of pass some time. So I was playing that. That game's super fun. Like, basically, you're trying to weaken either Greece or the Athenian armies. So you kind of go through and undermine their whole. What the fuck? That's not in there. Did you find it?
Yep.
Sweet. Yeah, download that one, dude. That's a really good roster. Double check it before you start one with just to make sure that's the one, but that one has to be it. I downloaded that ESPN one first yesterday, and that one I was not super impressed with.
It only had like 28 people download it, so
This one doesn't have that many either, though.
116, not bad.
Oh, that's pretty good. It probably picked up a bunch yesterday because it's actually a good roster.
So you've been playing
But, like,
Assassin's Creed?
Yeah, so I hit that pretty hard last week for – actually, it was 2 weekends ago. We just didn't talk about it last week because we were hitting the draft pretty hard. But, yeah, so I started that game when it first came out and kind of just quit playing it because it's like your 120-hour game. So kind of got away from it and then picked it back up, last weekend, so 2 weekends ago, and played for a while. Alyssa was doing some hangout with some friends, so I hopped on there for a while, played it.
Gamed out.
Yeah, I would say of all the Assassin's Creed games, it's so fun. It's not like the old ones. So like if you played the Revolutionary War one, Assassin's Creed 3, it's nothing like that anymore. The story's not what's important. It's all about the open world and like all the extra stuff that's going on. So like the main story obviously is a story, but it's not like a huge deal. It's just fun to go and do like like infiltrate a bandit camp, wipe them out, liberate it, build up your kind of your pull and like your following, because people start to realize that you can be like hired and you do a good job.
Oh, okay.
And then there's obviously like your assassinations and stuff too. They're fun games. They're grinds.
So in those, the purpose is more to take down one of the countries. Is that what your goal was?
Yeah, so this specific one, you're basically trying to pick which side you want to win the war, that big war.
And then you just manipulate the other side.
Exactly. Yep.
Gotcha.
And all while it's going on, you're trying to figure out like your lineage and who your actual father is, because you don't know who your dad is. I'm not that far into the story though. I haven't played a lot of the story. I've been doing a lot of the side stuff. So.
Okay. That sounds like fun.
I don't know if I'll be picking it back up for a while though now after starting Stardew Valley again. I'll probably sink some hours into that game.
Yeah, that one's a little bit of a grind.
How about you? What have you guys been doing? You've been playing The Forest a little bit. Have you played it lately or not really?
I haven't really played it too much lately. I haven't done much video games at all lately. Just a little bit in between podcasts. I play a little bit of 2K, and I'm garbage at that. It's so hard to play because I'm just trash.
Like it's not enjoyable because you're just so bad at it.
Yeah, and I don't know if I started the season and I played with actually good players. So I'm doing my player. And my guy, it takes so long, and I don't know. I think ESPN or 2K can do a better job at fast forwarding through some of that shit. Like there's a lot of I have to sit there and wait 5 seconds after every timeout before I can fast forward. And I don't like that. When there's a timeout, I just want to click X and be done with it.
Yeah, you want to get going.
Yeah, I have to wait till it's 55 seconds and then I can click and it runs through. And there's just so many delays with all that stuff. I wish, even in practice, I could just kind of bang, 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 run my drills and move on. It's so into like the story and the experience of doing that. It kind of takes away from my like of the gameplay.
Yeah. I always enjoyed the My Player, quite honestly, the most of the 3 big sports games. Madden doesn't really have one.
No.
But between the show and NBA's My Player, I think I like 2K's a little bit better, although the show's fun too. The only thing that sucks with the show is if you're not a pitcher, it's really a grind.
Yeah, it really is. The thing about the show, I like batting, and that's why I don't like being a pitcher. But you upgrade and you move a lot faster as a pitcher versus being a first baseman or a center fielder. I'm not too into playing the field in those games. I just like the at bats.
Yeah. So on because I downloaded 20, the show 20, and I just did. They let you optimize it so you play only at like the key moment fielding time. So you get like 3 opportunities max fielding throughout the game, and then you get all the batting. That's like perfect.
Yeah. I think 19 does that too, because I played 19 for a while last year, and then I played it when 20 came out. And I'm pretty sure it's the same thing where it just brings you in when the ball's going to you.
Yep.
But I don't know. Even though it's not that long, it's like when I want to rip through a game and I just want to keep going, I just like the at-bats. You can just pop, 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 and next game. and really start working on getting yourself up.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. From what I haven't honestly, I bought 2K last year and I haven't bought 20, but I bought 2K last year and didn't really play it. So I haven't played it for a few years. I don't know. I do think the quality of the games went down a little bit from everything that I've been reading, but it's really hard on those yearly games because people, like your Reddit community and stuff, they're so critical of those yearly games because they never get the changes they want because it takes a long time to implement changes.
Well, and not to mention there's not they can change some of the glitches and they can do a few things like that, but there's not a lot of groundbreaking shit that they can do from a year-to-year game. Even in like Call of Duty or what was another one that was coming out every year? Well, even like Madden.
Battlefield.
Yeah, it was Battlefield every year? I thought they were taking a couple year breaks.
No, they were like every 2 years, but at the every year mark, they launched like a new big update.
Gotcha.
So the physical game was only, I think every 2 or 3 years, but they launched like big updates through every year.
Okay. So, yeah, even like Madden, they make some tweaks and changes, but until they add in a true my player mode, because they kind of did it with the face of the franchise, and they had that, they had the one last year too. I don't remember QB1 or something like that.
Yep.
They're fun to run through, but they're not the same as what 2K does or the show does. You just want to create a player and run through, not run through the story that they want you to get there. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah, no, I totally agree. I feel like Madden could really use an overhaul. I know everybody was kind of getting excited when they saw that 2K got back some rights for Madden, or EA was losing their exclusivity to the Madden rights, but It doesn't sound like 2K is going to be bringing a Madden game out or a real football. It sounds like it's going to be like a Blitz or a Street, something kind of a knockoff.
Do you think they're going to be able to get away with doing a Blitz style game?
I don't know, dude.
Like it was very popular back when it was out, and I loved it. But I just don't know if they're going to be able to get away with going back to that gruesome, unnecessary style of football. You know what I mean? Where you're encouraged to do the wrong thing. That's right. Yeah, like an NFL Street or something along those lines.
I don't know. I personally, I kind of agree with you in the sense of I just don't see that being something that people are going to want. But personally, I'd buy it.
Yeah.
If it's good quality, I'd buy it.
Yeah, I just feel like all the games, maybe not all of them, but especially these sport franchise games, you feel like they got to be kind of clean cut into the book. You don't see too many that are out of the ordinary. You know, it's all pretty much the same.
But, I mean, like UFC is big on PlayStation, that game, and that game's pretty brutal. UFC is just brutal by default, but there's a big time UFC community. I think what gets a lot of people into like your Blitz and Jam and stuff is more so nostalgia. Like even the Blitz games that they made, right, when we were kids in middle school, the quality of those was not really that good. We just liked them because you could freaking shoot up with steroids if you had an injury and you could hit people early. You know,
when you got hurt, you got to see the actual injury, the spleen, and you could hit people late. And then I thought there was some sort of like off field where you got to make decisions or you get in trouble for going out to the club at night or whatever the deal was.
I think you were a general manager and your team would get in trouble and you had to figure out if you wanted to hold them accountable or not or something like that.
Don't hold them accountable.
How come it's Blitz, dude? Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Or
more
so I think it was people would go to jail and miss games and stuff.
Which is kind of what they do in Retro Bowl. A little bit of a tease. That thing's coming out soon, guys. Have to give
That's true. That podcast is edited and ready to go. That podcast will be posted before this is posted. So
go back and listen to it, guys.
Yeah, that'll be the one posted before. It'll be this episode is going to come out on Thursday. We're recording it currently Monday, but this one will be out in about 3 days, and the Retro Bowl one's going to be out tonight. So go back and check 2 episodes before this one for the Retro Bowl interview. It was super fun.
That was a lot of fun. Simon was a good one to talk to. I like this.
I feel like
did a good job.
Yeah, he did a super good job. He's super personable. I was a little nervous right away knowing that he's from Britain. Just like, is there going to be any sort of a gap between like our lingo and his lingo, or like a little
Mhm.
bit of a communication gap at all? But it was free flowing and pretty good.
Yeah, he understood. I mean, he just learned the game like a year and a half ago too, right? So
Yep.
fall of 2018 or whenever the football season started, or halfway through or whatever, he decided he wanted to do this game. And he was very knowledgeable. The game nails the game style and even more of the upper management stuff too. He did a really good job at it. So kudos to him. Check out the game,
And
boys.
I know you can't follow on Twitter what he's got coming because Twitter's a bunch of fucking assholes.
Fucking
But
dicks.
he's creating some pretty good new content for the game.
Sweet. Yeah, Twitter is kind of a bag of dicks right now. We're going on a week and a half of being blocked because we typed in the wrong birthday.
I thought you guys were gonna laugh at that picture that I sent today.
I was out doing something. Actually, I was tilling up my garden beds, and I hit a big ass rock, and the rock got stuck in the tines of the tiller, and I couldn't get it out. It was like stuck in there, damn good. I actually had to pull the tines off, or like blades or whatever. So I had to pop the pins out, and then the pins. Oh, here we go. And then the pins were so rusted in there that I had to spray them with WD-40 and then pop them out with a hammer and then take a little bit of a nail set and just fucking tap them out, and it took forever. So I'm soaking them in vinegar. But that's when you texted me, long story short, and I did not read it.
That's fair. You're being all productive and shit. Well, look what the cat dragged in. If it's not the man
Look at that
himself,
clean cut motherfucker. Wow.
the
I'm not
greasy
too clean
son
cut,
of a
guys. I
bitch.
was just gonna get the hat rolling. I got the butthole swag. Yeah, you guys
Fuck
get
it.
fresh
And the
shower gauge.
flip.
Yeah, it's live. Oh yeah.
Ladies, watch out. They're coming from miles to see that hair flip.
Whoa! Did you guys see that? I think
Crowd
everything
shaking.
blood.
They're coming. What have you been up to, man?
Stampede.
You said, what were you doing? You were gone? Helping out a friend or something?
Yeah, helping a friend put on a roof. So electrician Gage was roofer Gage today.
Oh, wow. Lucky him. He's bolder than I am. I don't know if I'd want my electrician roofing my house. A lot of leaks coming through.
It was a flat roof, so it was a low risk, high reward situation.
What were you doing? Just loading up with rocks or what?
No, we had to rip it all out and redo it. So,
Well, if it's a flat roof, what style were they putting on there?
they're still putting shingles and everything. So it's going to be a regular roof, but we had to put a pitch, a small pitch to go towards the gutters and shit.
Okay, so okay.
By flat, I mean like 412,
not 12-1 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gotcha. So similar to what my roof is, where it's pretty simple, right?
Yes. Very flat.
Yep. Easy enough to get on there. You don't really have to worry about falling off unless you get a little too close to the edge.
Exactly.
Or you're talking shit. Well, sweet, man. What have you been up to besides that? I haven't talked to you in a grip.
It's been a little bit. Yeah. I've this weekend I was garage door guy for my parents. So that was cool.
Fucking A, man. Jack of all trades.
Yeah, I'm coming for your title there, Brandon. You better watch your seat. It's getting hot.
What's my title?
You're just the general handyman, right? I mean,
I give handies. I am handy. That's what I meant.
Jack of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, I know enough about things to be dangerous. All right.
Yeah. So we did a garage, actually 2 garage doors for my folks over the weekend, and that was a very timely process. And actually, so we have an enclosed trailer. We were gonna dump that garbage so we had some space for the old doors and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we got about 3 miles down Highway 10 before we blew a tire. And then trying to replace, swap a tire, it's not too tough, but we snapped a stud and then we couldn't get the other ones. They were just stuck for who knows how long. I mean, my dad would say he's never swapped the tires. So 28 on this trailer, and those studs were rusty.
He never swapped it. So he owned it for 22 years and he hasn't swapped a tire, is what you're saying.
No, we've never had to, and it doesn't
Yeah.
get used a ton. So, yeah, that was
That time.
that was an experience. Yeah, it was supposed to be like a 2-hour trip, to the dump and back, and it ended up being like 4 hours to swap out one tire.
Oh, yeah. I know how that goes. I was dethatching my yard this weekend. I was just doing the front yard, and my dad's got this whole setup. So he's got the dethatcher on the mower, so I can just ride along and do it super nice and easy. Then he's got a sweeper with like little rubber tongs on the bottom. So as you blow all the grass into piles, the thing hits the rubber tongs hit the ground and pick up grass and sticks and throw them into a box in the back. Then you got to dump it once it gets full. So my dumb ass goes back into my woods, and I'm like, oh, it's normally filled with water.
Yeah,
There's no water in there right now, and there's just leaves over the top of it. All looks dry. So I back up, and I've walked through it, and it was fine. I'm trying to back up to this pile, fucking sink it, and then I try to get out, and I'm just digging myself deeper. Then the four-wheeler, we try to wench it out with the four-wheeler, and the four-wheeler starts going towards the hole where I was stuck. It took forever. We had to hook up the Jeep to it and get a couple tow straps and make a path and pull me out. So my hour and a half job here turned into 3 because I had to dick around and try and get myself out.
Yeah, it was quite the experience. So we were saved by our buddy Kevin, my buddy that I was helping today. He came out with the torch and heat up those studs a little, or heat up the lug nuts, and then they finally loosened up. And yeah, it was quite the ordeal.
Sounds like it.
Where are we at with the podcast? Are you guys just?
We were just bullshitting about video games and stuff, talking Madden and what we've been playing. Have you been on lately? I haven't been, so I haven't seen Gage's Rage plastered on the PlayStation lately.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. Actually, just last night I got on for a couple hours for DBZ again.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you were playing that?
Yeah, dude, so much fun. I'm so glad I grinded a little bit and leveled up and beat Raditz, because the storyline it's phenomenal. It completely follows the DBZ cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I don't know what my time played is. Do you know how to check that sort of stuff on PlayStation?
If they don't track it in the game, I don't think you can.
Okay. Yeah, because I would have to say I'm over 20 hours if I were to guess. And I'm not even – yeah, I still have the Android Saga. So there's still a lot of game left for me.
They just released a big update for that game too.
Yeah, so I think what they did was they just released the first part with the character Vegeta being the main boss. And then I think they've been releasing updates that have the next boss in the saga. So there was a Frieza update, and then there was the Android Saga or the Cell update, and I'm sure they just released the Boo update. So yeah, this game is fucking sweet. Yeah,
like Boo from Mario.
No. Boo is he's just the epitome.
Oh, you my Boo.
Just BOO. I guess it is like Boo. No. Sorry, it's BUU. BUU.
Oh, buh.
But it's Boo.
Okay.
Uh-oh, boys.
If they're from Asia,
I just came across a gold mine.
Ruh-roh.
You type in your PlayStation ID, and it tells you how many hours you've put on each game on your PlayStation.
No. I don't even want to look at that.
Or what?
Damn it. The wrap up. Hang on. I have to get the newest updated one. This one was from last year.
Yeah, you're going to have to give me that website, and I don't even know if I want to look.
I want to type in each of ours so we can see what our top games played are.
Madden. It's going to be mine. Steinfire 23. You type in Steinfire 23 on Google, and you're going to get pulled up 2 of the best montages that you could have ever watched.
When you pull up X Gage's Rage X, you get some Road to the Show streams. I should play that again. That's been a little bit.
Yeah, we were just talking about that a little bit ago in the My Player mode.
Super fun.
Dude, this montage, 5 minutes and 33 seconds. It's from 2009, I think. 2008. It's the best thing you're gonna watch all day, and mixed with the worst thing you're gonna watch all day.
God damn, that's old.
It is old. We used to videotape with a camera, and myself or my cousin would have to sit there and try and videotape as we're doing it and try to get kills, and then we'd upload it. So it's shaky. The quality is terrible. And I only have like 5 videos, but I'm pushing 100 views if you combine all of them together.
Ooh. Hey, see, we're doing just the random episode here, right?
Yeah.
I've got a Amazon box that showed up on the doorstep today.
Oh, open it live in front of everybody. What is it?
Yeah, I kind of forgot all about what I ordered, so I have no idea what it is. To tell
An
you.
unboxing, just like Prez.
Oh, is it your double-sided dildo?
Oh,
Hey, Cobb.
hey, if it is, I know who's having a good night tonight, boys.
You and who else?
Not me.
Me and the dog.
What?
So is there peanut butter too?
Woo, dog. So what do we have here? Looks like pretty sweet.
Oh, a red dot. Fucking sick.
Hey, don't show the brand name. They don't endorse us. Viper doesn't endorse the BudHole.
Oh yeah, fucking.
Yeah,
You
come on.
can't show the brand name of what you're opening or drinking
No.
if they don't support
They
Not
should-
BudHole.
Dasani. Not Dasani.
This is definitely not gross Coke. This is Coca-Cola, zero sugar.
Zero-
It's pretty gross, but it works.
Zero sugar Coke is actually, in fact, gross Coke.
That's actually not. That is not inaccurate. I
That
think you're
is-
telling the truth.
That is a fact.
Boys, this is small. This is so small.
Put your pants back on.
That's what she said.
Oh my gosh. I don't know why I was expecting something bigger. I mean, that is
Jeez.
like.
Did you
210
not check out the specs on that thing before you ordered it?
I wanted something. I wanted a mini reflex, and that's what I got.
Got a very
What are you putting that on, a potato gun?
No, my little 22.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
We should make a potato gun, and we should play baseball with it
Ooh. How do you play baseball with a potato gun?
dangerously.
My favorite way.
Batting practice is all it is.
I'd be down. Shit.
So how much of the draft did you catch, Gager? First round?
First round. Yep, I'm a draft elitist.
I know everything.
No, I meant I only care about the elite players from the draft.
Oh, gotcha. You know that actually 65% of players on your active roster
Yeah,
are
65% of what,
undrafted.
the 90 team?
The what?
65% of the 90-man team?
No,
Or just the 53-man rosters?
the 53-man roster. 65% is rounds 4 through 7. That's where you get a bunch of your players.
Or
Okay.
undrafted.
And here
Yes,
is why
yep.
stats suck. What is the percent of starters in the 4th or later round?
Yeah, we don't know that. We don't pay attention to that stuff. That's silly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it doesn't follow the narrative. I get it.
I have no idea, to be honest.
Because I bet, 65% of players are from the 4th or later round. But I bet those 65% are the first ones to get cut.
I would assume so.
They're the ones that are constantly fighting for a job because the team has
Yeah.
nothing invested in them.
Like, I
They
guess
invested
I'll
a seventh.
uproot my entire life and family and move to Tennessee for training camp money again.
Just to get cut week 3.
Happens.
Most of
You gotta-
those,
you get a paycheck, man.
most of those borderline players, though, they don't even move their family. They'll just get They'll just get like an apartment.
Which
Room
is
up
smart.
the other ones. They're like, oh, you're going to Tennessee too? Let's go, boy. I got the van.
Oh, were you undrafted? I was undrafted. They don't even really want me. They just need a warm body.
We need somebody to try and tackle Julio Jones. All right.
Yes.
You got about 2 weeks to do it, and then see you later, bud.
Oh, yeah, he looks amazing. We confirmed it. You suck.
Yep. See you later.
Oh, shite. Yeah, so the garage door it worked to perfection. It only took 2 days. So
Good. That's a good thing, man.
expanding my craft a little bit.
I
That's
myself
important.
am gearing up at some point here, and from what I hear, which is the truth, very near future, be building a deck. So that's what I get to learn how to do.
Nice.
And I have no clue where to start.
Yo,
So,
actually,
Puddings.
if I dig, yeah, footings are important. I actually took a deck building class with my folks the other, like maybe a year ago. If I find some of that research, I could send it your way.
yeah. Did you retain any of the info, or?
Basically go big on everything, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's what her dad was saying when he was over. He's like, cut everything long and then just measure everything out and then trim it all how you need to.
yep. And then
Mhm.
make sure you have a real solid header against the house. You know, like
Which
don't
you
go
already do.
a 2x8. Go for like the 2x10 or 2x12.
It's a
Yep.
2x12.
Oh yeah, you're set. You're fucking golden then. Yeah, basically after that, it was like pretty much common sense. Are you gonna do like cement pads for the posts or?
Yep, we're gonna do 3 out. It's gonna be a 16 wide by 14. I guess you'd call deep deck. So we're gonna put, I think, 3 or 4 out on the very end.
Okay, yeah. The biggest thing he said was to just make sure you like actually get a shitload of concrete for that, you know,
Yeah.
and get it down there, and then also like check with your city before you do it to see if there's any crazy ordinances or shitty stuff that the city makes you do.
They usually make you jump through loops because they have nothing else to do, so they gotta justify their time.
Well, they just lost a bunch of money by people staying home and not doing anything, so they're gonna try and screw you hard, man.
Yeah, I have no doubt that they'll be a real fucking treat to deal with.
Fuck
Very
this.
loose butthole.
They definitely don't keep their buttholes tight. Their buttholes are fucking loose as shit. And I'm just over here trying to figure out how to build a deck. Or trying to not even figure out, just trying to build a deck.
Just enjoy some sunshine with the wifey.
Yeah.
It'll be nice to
So-
have, though. You're gonna shrink up your backyard a little bit, which is a bummer.
Yeah, we don't use the backyard anyways. You know how nice it's gonna be to pound some freaking Captain and Dews out on that deck, Brandon?
Oh yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And you know, you could just basically steal the neighbor's yard. I mean, he doesn't use it over there.
Yeah.
No.
And he's a dick.
Complete asshole. Definitely doesn't deserve the yard he has. We'll just take it.
Ron
Train
is
the
a
dog to shit over there.
Ron's an ass.
Ron, you're a real dick, so I'm gonna take your yard.
Well,
And you're gonna like it.
This is my yard now, Ron. Get out. But mow
And
it.
just because your wife's a bitch too, I'm gonna take twice as much as I was gonna.
I'm gonna let my dog shit in your yard too. I'm gonna make you clean it up.
Sounds like you got this handled, bud.
No, we'll figure it out. I
Dealt
don't
with
think
neighbors before.
I don't think building a deck is rocket science. It's just pretty damn close when you've never done it before.
It's not. It's construction.
Yeah.
Anybody
But-
can grab a hammer and throw something together. Whether it
Yeah.
stays together, that's a different story. Worry about
Stumble into it. We'll figure it out.
We had the niece come over and she picked up the Milwaukee and she put it right on the log and almost got in some trouble there for a minute when we were doing the garage doors.
That's funny.
I mean, even a like almost 2-year-old can do it.
That's true. That's true.
That's super funny.
And I would trust that.
Yeah. And then I was like, she picks up the hammer and she put it on the nails, not the screws. I'm like, she is smart. She knows you hammer nails and you screw screws.
Did she get that from her dad or her mom?
Grandpa, for sure. It just
Grandpa. Okay.
it skips, you know, generations.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, because not the most tool-oriented bunch.
What else is there for this episode? We talked about Kakarot, talked about Stardew Valley, Odyssey, Madden, The Forest.
Is that
I
the
don't
one
know.
that's June here?
No, that's
No, June
Ooh.
is The Last of Us too.
Yeah, and you want to know? I was reading today, I guess there's somebody on the development team for that leaked the story, like the end of the game.
What? Why would anybody
Yeah,
do
got-
that? That's a
I don't know.
dick thing
People
to
in
do.
the gaming community were fired up today. They were like, how would you have such little respect for the group that you put hours and hours with into this game to just leak the ending?
Fuckers.
It
I
would
do
be
not.
like Avengers Endgame, the writer coming out and telling you what happens at the end of the movie.
Yeah, and people were talking about how like whenever they find out who this leaker is, like they will not even have a career in video games anymore.
No, I mean, and honestly, they shouldn't.
Okay,
No, that's
just
bullshit.
play devil's advocate for 1 minute, boys.
Yeah.
If you were to be looking for this information, like, I mean, isn't it kind of your fault for finding it?
Well, I don't think they were necessarily searching how does The Last of Us 2 end. You can search The Last of Us 2 and that could pop up. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
it's like
Fair
when I
enough.
was scrolling through Instagram looking at a post about the challenge, I
Shut up.
saw somebody post. I'm not
No,
going to tell you
no.
what it was. And this was last year. Somebody posted what happened at the end of Endgame in the challenge post. Like they were just doing it to be a dick. So
Yeah, that's
I could go on to a forum for The Last of Us and I could search it up and I could be a jerk and just post it on there for everybody else to see. And now all of a sudden I just ruined it for you. Like if I came out and told you exactly what happened last Wednesday on the challenge, which actually was a super good episode. You want to know?
No, don't anymore. I gotta steal your login for the MTV app.
Yeah, you do. You're missing out, man. There's a lot of good stuff going on.
I bet. Yeah.
Which reminds me, Paige and I just bought the Gauntlet 2. We're starting back at season like 10 or 11, and we're gonna watch up to the season
You
now.
bought it?
Yeah, we couldn't find it for free, so we paid for it.
Whatever. You gave it a fairly half decent, maybe good effort at finding it for free before you bought it.
Possibly, she's the one who did it, so I'm not sure, but we bought it. It's the cheesiest fucking shit you could ever hear, man. Like watching it. So I didn't know that TJ, he's the host of the show, Scott. He used to be a BMX biker. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Dog!
I had no idea. So
I didn't know that.
I was watching him be the host, and he's been the host for a long time, at least since 06.
The entire thing.
The entire thing. Okay, so I didn't watch from the very beginning. I started watching it like season – we're in 35. I was probably like 27, 28. I started like 4 years ago, man.
Okay, so Paige is a little bit more of a fan than you, correct?
She's the one who got me into it.
Yes. Okay.
Now fandom changes as I got into it. Now I'm definitely a bigger fan. But she definitely got me into it. I didn't even know it was a show until she told me to watch it. But I didn't know that about TJ, and I was like, that guy, I don't know what to peg him as. Like he's an interesting dude, but I couldn't fit him into the category of how I understood who he was. And now BMX biker makes sense.
Yeah, he's kind of that thrill seeker, adventure guy.
Exactly. So, because he's so cheesy, rolling in on like jet skis and stuff, and it's supposed to look badass, but he's being.
That's
silly.
why they do it.
Yeah.
Yep. It's just put him on a little machine and let him do his thing.
Exactly. So, in these seasons, it's so cheesy. It's like, hey, we just got our next challenge here on our T-Mobile Sidekick. Let's see what it is. It's like, oh my God, it fucking dates it so bad. And
the ads were horrible back then.
whoever won the elimination, they're like, here you go, and here's $1,000 gift card to Best Buy, where the possibilities are endless. You know, it's the cheesiest shit. Here's $1,000 to McDonald's. Who's gonna be loving it?
Yeah,
it's terrible.
You from the beginning, but that's what fucking great reality TV is. You know,
that's how they made their money.
Okay, so not talking about TV shows, but like video games, movies, and shows in general. How do you guys feel about spoilers? Because I'm the kind of type where even if I know like an ending to a movie, I'm still going to want to see it. You know, if it's something I was interested in before, I would be bummed, but I wouldn't necessarily be like horribly bummed out about
Upset.
it. Yeah.
I'm a little so on it. It depends on what it is. Like
Really?
Avengers Endgame, I didn't want to know what happened. You know, the challenge, I don't want to know who wins because that kind of like if I know who wins at the end of it, I'm watching each episode and let's say the winner, let's say it's Johnny. Johnny's going against so and so in elimination. Well, I'm like, I already know what's going to happen here. I know Johnny's going to win. So now it takes away the little bit of the suspense for me.
For sure.
But if it's a movie I'm not really into or I don't super care about, like Dexter. I wasn't into Dexter. I watched the final season. I knew how it ended. I went through and watched the whole series again, and I still enjoyed the ending. But I knew, somebody was going to die at the end. And so I'm sitting there waiting. I'm like, okay, how is it going to happen? Like, when's it going to happen? Like, it's coming up. So-and-so's not going to make it. And so, like, you just have that in the back of your mind,
Sure.
It's almost better if to me, I'm kind of in the exact same way that Brandon is. If I have any sort of time invested in it, I don't want to know the ending. Like if I've been watching a TV show for 6 seasons and now it's season 7, I don't want to know how it ends. I want to watch it. But like for Dexter, for instance, if it's a show you've never watched and you watch the last season, see how it ends, then you go back and rewatch it, I'd be totally cool with that because then I would be interested to see kind of how they get to that point. But if it's a game that means a lot to me, like Last of Us 2, I have zero interest in knowing how the ending is. I want to play the ending. Like I want to play the game and see the ending. I don't want to be told. All sports events, like if I get told how it ends, I don't even waste time watching them because it's a total waste of time.
Pretty much.
But movies and TV, it's kind of hit or miss.
What if it ended the way you wanted it to? Like let's say overtime winner, game-ending touchdown in the playoffs against the.
But at that point, could you just watch the highlights?
Yeah. But too, like if it's the Vikings and it's a game that really matters to me, like if it's playoffs, I'm going to be watching it. Yeah. If it's a regular season game and I know the ending, I'm not going to go back and watch regular season. I don't care if it's 3 overtimes and we win on the end on a pick 6. Like, I'm not going to go back and rewatch it. I'll just watch the highlights.
Too.
Huh?
That would not be a regular season game too.
Oh yeah, because you can't do 3 overtimes. But you get the point.
Yeah. I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here because like you guys said, it does matter like what your interest level is in it. Like the challenge, I don't want it to be spoiled whatsoever. But like Star Wars, yeah, go ahead and tell me about it. Maybe it'll spark interest for me to try to watch it.
Yeah. It all depends on your level of interest in the show.
For sure. It's a good way to put it.
But
Paige got me into, I don't know if you're watching it now, Scott, because Alyssa's been talking to Paige about it, but Outer Banks.
No.
You haven't heard it? It's actually a pretty good show. It's a group of kids in high school. They live in, it's called Outer Banks. I don't really know where it's at, but essentially there's a famous shipwreck that happened out there, and there's hundreds of $1 million worth of gold. And there's 2 types of people on the island. They call them pogues, which are poor people, and kooks, which are the rich people. So, they're kind of all secluded. Pogues stick together, kooks stick together, and there's this big rift between the lower class and the upper class, essentially. But everybody is always trying to find this treasure. And one of the main characters, and all the main characters are mostly pogues, his dad was a researcher for it, and he went missing. And so they're trying to figure out where the gold is and what they're going to do, and everybody's kind of trying to kill each other and get to the gold and get their $400 million. But it's actually pretty damn good.
It sounds pretty interesting. She has shows that she'll just go ahead and watch without me because she doesn't think it's a show that I would be that interested in. So I'm super picky with TV. But then there's other shows that we watch together. That one I think she was actually watching today when I got home.
Yeah, it's Paige does the same thing. There's shows she'll start without me, so she has something to watch while I'm doing things.
Yep.
And then there's other shows that we'll watch together. And typically, she doesn't like telling me about the shows she's watching because I'll be like, oh, that sounds good. Let's watch it together. And then all of a sudden, she doesn't have a show to watch on her own time.
And she's like, fuck you.
God damn it, it's good. And now you slow down it. You don't have that much interest, but you don't want me to watch ahead. Like, yeah, I'm the worst.
That was like us with the Blacklist. We started the Blacklist because we're going to watch it together. I think we made it through 5 or 6 episodes before I was like, yeah, you can just go ahead and watch this shit. Like,
You
it's the
don't-
same
You didn't
thing
like
every
that
episode.
show? No, come
No.
on.
I didn't
Dude,
like
man.
the truth.
Nah, dude. Network TV or like regular channel TV, I can't do it, man. It's all the same shit. Like fucking like all of your
okay.
CSI shows,
Right. No.
Bull,
No. See,
The
here's what's different.
Blacklist. No.
CSI is crime scene investigation. NCIS is naval crime investigation scene.
SVU is special
Victims unit. And not to mention there's
Or unit, Scott.
NCIS Los Angeles. There's NCIS New Orleans. They're in different
what the difference
locations,
is?
man. There's so much different stuff that can happen.
Dude, I get
Someone
it.
could be
Cold streaks.
murdered in a parade during
Come
Mardi
on.
Gras, or they
Dude.
could be murdered.
You think
during a
somebody's going to
parade.
get murdered during a Mardi Gras parade in California? It's not going to happen, Scott.
No,
You're
it
not going to
can't
get that
happen
type of
because-
content on
can't
NCIS
happen.
New Orleans or CSI Miami for that matter.
You know, I get it. There's a reason why there's all different NCISs. It's because people watch them. And CIS and SVU, it's because people watch them, just not this guy. This guy's not
No.
watching them.
I'll tell you what the issue is. These people are not actually watching this shit. These people are just leaving their TVs on after Wheel of Fortune or whatever their favorite fucking TV show is.
I don't get how do they come up with their number one rating? This is the number one TV show in the country. I swear every show has that on there before it starts on network television. How can they all be number one?
Because it's just by different people who rate them number one.
Yeah, they're all number one based on their own network's rankings.
Well, there's that.
They don't tell you rated number one by all the Consumer Reports. It's we're number one, and then they just cut out the part where it's like from the Channel 11 rankings. You know,
And that's why I'll say it again, boys. Stats suck. You can basically use any kind of stat to prove any opinion ever.
we are the number one rated show on Channel 4 at 5:30 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. Come check us out.
You see, the thing is, though, they're not wrong.
No, they're not. But it just doesn't tickle my fancy.
I would say we're the best BudHole podcast,
Oh, for sure.
Fuck yeah.
most likely. Yeah,
Most likely.
odds are in
But-
our favor.
Well, I suppose. Until next time,
Time to hit
have a
that
blessed
dusty
day.
trail.
What'd you say?
Time to hit that dusty trail.
Yeah, we got to get into the NFL episode. I'm excited for this one.
Me
Fuck
too.
yeah. It'd be epic.
Uh,
All right,
okay,
boys. Don't
guys.
forget. Go jerk off.
Bye.
Bye.